Final thing I want to say is this. For every one of us, freedom is not some abstract concept that we read about in school. Freedom is real. It's personal in our lives. For me, I think about my dad. Y'all had the opportunity to hear from my dad just a few minutes. My father was born in Cuba. He grew up in Cuba. And as a kid, he fought the Cuban Revolution. When he was a teenager, he was imprisoned and tortured by Batista's army. He was 17 years old, lying on the floor of Cuban jails, covered in mud and blood. His nose was broken, his teeth were shattered out of his mouth. And he remembers thinking, I don't have any kids. Nobody depends on me. It doesn't matter if I live right now. And yet, thankfully, God had different plans for my life. He was released from that jail cell, and in 1957, my father fled Cuba and came to America. He was just 18 years old, couldn't speak a word of English, had $100 sewn into his underwear. I actually don't advise carrying money in your underwear. He got a job washing dishes, made 50 cents an hour, and he worked 7 days a week, paid his way through school, and then he and my mom started a small business together. And so I grew up in Texas. As the son of two small businesses, seeing the ups and downs, the triumphs and challenges of running a small business. Today, my father is a pastor. He travels the country preaching the gospel. Now, my whole life, my dad has been my hero. But you know what I find most extraordinary about his story? How complex it is. Every one of us here tonight, we have a story just like that in our lives. Some of us, it's us. Others, it's our parents. Others, it's our great-great-great-grandparents. But what ties all of us together as Americans is every one of us, we are the children of those who risked everything. And that's why I'm so optimistic. Because it is the fundamental DNA of what it means to be an American, to value freedom and opportunity above all else. My father has said many, many times, I lost my freedom once in Cuba. I'll die before I lose it. And that is why all of us are here. Because we are not willing to go quietly into the night. We are not willing to give up on our kids and grandkids. And I'll tell you this. Under our Constitution, sovereignty is not vested in kings and queens and principalities. It is not vested in a president. Sovereignty is vested in we the people. And if we stand together and defend freedom, if we stand together and defend the Constitution,